Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NABILAH binti TAJEI and I'm going to present my part, which is introduction about digitalization in Islamic equity, prospect and issue. So, financial institution can either extend funds to their customer in a manner in which the seeker of funds are owed to the institution or through the extension of funds by way of capital involvement in a joint venture. Next, I'm going to talk about the actual meaning of equity. So, what is equity? Equity is the quality of being fair and impartial. So then, it also means that the money value of a property or of an interest in a property in excess of claims or liens against it. And then I'm going to tell about the main takeaways about equity. Okay, so as you can see that it is equity financing is used as firms mostly starts up business which is it need cash in the short term. It is also common for firms to use equity financing many times during the maturity period. So in this slide, I'm going to talk about Islamic equity finance. Okay, so in an Islamic equity fund, the amounts are invested in the shares of joint stock companies. The profit are primarily obtained from buying the shares and selling them as their values are boosted by capital gains. Secondly, if the company's main business is not Sharia compliant, the Islamic fund is not authorized to purchase, keep or sell its shares because it will entail the shareholders direct interest in that forbidden business. So we have conducted these studies, this analysis because we want this analysis on the prospect and issues in Islamic equity finance to see the truth of equity finance. It is legitimate under Sharia law.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is ZULFAR binti ZULKIFILI. For the next slide, we're going to discuss about the prospect in Islamic equity financing. So what is prospect? Prospect can be defined as a potential or probability. According to psychology, prospect is how to describe a person in making decision when presented with alternative that involve a risk, probability, and uncertainty. So, in prospect of Islamic equity financing, it can be considered as a factor that influences a person or an organization in deciding the equity in Islamic equity financing. Before being a buyer or seller of the equity, a person or an organization must first look into the prospectus of the company. So what is a prospectus? Prospectus is a formal document that provides a subtle element about investment advertising to the public. It is an outline that records the offering of stock, bond, and common reserve. So here we're going to discuss several elements in the prospectus. So first is about the ACE fund summary. What is fund summary? It is a summary of the company fund, which is provide a summary of the fund basic aspect, including of the description of the product that we use, investment objective, relevant feature, and statement that comply with the Sharia principle. It will also refer to the management method and detail of the stakeholder involved. Second is the market opportunity. This will provide an analysis of both the macro and the micro market which the investment is to take place and the opportunities available. The third is investment approach. It is an outline of the investment approach and also the statement of the Sharia compliance. It also will describe the investment policy and strategy, method by which the fund will be managed in different places, and how the leverage will be obtained. Next is the management. Okay, in the management, this will give a brief about the detail of the managers that involved in the fund and in particular their curriculum vitae. And the last is summary of the principal term. It is simple briefing about the company principal term and summary for some other prospect in prospectus, such as fund objective, fund contract structure, the investment criteria like the reference to currency, the type of the interest, and the last reference to the choice and role of the Sharia compliance committee of or scholar. This section also will provide an analysis of other aspects such as fees, expenses, distribution, and Sharia statement compliance.
The Islamic financial market plays an important role in making Malaysia a center of excellence in Islamic finance. To avoid a decline in the traditional Islamic finance industry or the possibility of market saturation, fintech financial technology, especially in urban and rural areas, should be provided based on Sharia compliant requirements. Relatively, the use of fintech in conventional system is growing at a faster rate, and this situation is still slow in the Islamic financial sector. Therefore, the developments of Islamic finance in this country need to be prepared with accommodative infrastructure to create digital Islamic banks such as in Europe and other regional countries that are more forward in this technology. So, financial technology, which is fintech, has played an important role in information to introduce and expand technological innovation in the Islamic financial sector. In this era, fintech has become increasingly popular over time. This raises various issues to bring down Islamic fintech in preserving for the future. Muslims are wiser in emphasizing the developments of Islamic bank, product and service. According to Bakar and Rosby 2018, say that Islamic financial institution can adapt to the currents of modernization in their function and service. And then, most of them think about issue related to fintech is cryptocurrency and blockchain. Other than that, among the challenge and issue that can be expressed through the digitalizations of Islamic finance is that the security of information and personnel of the community is a very important challenge to address. Security and security protocol are in question due to the passage of time with advanced technology. A survey conducted by PwC Global Information Security 2016 reported a 38% increase in security incidents detected globally in 2015 compared to 2014. This could lead to more serious cyber problems if not curbed. And Islamic bank need to have adequate buffer to bear the losses caused by the pandemic COVID-19. This slide show the clarifications of day trading. Issue that can be expressed through study found say that internet and technology has facilitated a phenomenon called day trading. In this practice, a trader buys and sells shares at the same times and day. The day trading seems to be purely speculative and not really investing. Another day trading issue is whether or not the trader takes legal or constructive possession of a share before selling, depending upon the capacity of the local clearing system. An order to sell may take place before the purchase has cleared. This liberal view is that confirmation is sufficient evidence of purchase. The conservative view is that the trader must take registered ownership in order to sell. A similar set of issues has arisen with algorithmic machine-based trading, in which order to buy and sell or place electronically and execute instantly, sometimes called high-frequency trading. Margin trading and financing provide investors with leverage to execute purchase without having all of the funds required. Conventional margin trading is based upon a loan at interest secured by the purchase stock. Dr. Ashraf Wajri research, which is since 2006, many Islamic banks have offered shares murabaha. This is similar in economic risk to conventional margin trading, except that in shares murabaha, the buyer obligation is fixed and there is no margin call to increase equity if the stock price suddenly drops. Although there is evidence that shares murabaha is abused for speculative trading in the mid-2000s, an unexpected challenge has arisen. Customers sell them on the spot to get cash in a transaction described as original tawarruk. On the one hand, the speculative applications of shares murabah debtors is discouraged. On the other hand, many scholars dislike tawarruk as intentions inform both actions. Scholars has found shared murabah difficult to restrict